Yes. Oh, I should have brought, honestly, this is our new idea for Swag, to have like a monopoly money, because people interact really cool, and I could see this happening at the conference, that we come all along, and we exchange the swag for better stuff. So yeah, I know some of you might have seen this schedule before, and the talk was presented by Alex Lakatos. I am not Alex Lakatos. He is the CTO of Interledger Foundation, and I'm going to record the message for him. Thank you for putting me up to the stage instead of you. I hope I'll make it as pleasant as he will do it. You got the lady version of the talk. I'm Ioana, Chiorean, an engineer manager at Interledger Foundation. I just joined 2.5 months, so take it with a grain of salt. I did contribute before to them. I attended the summit, so hopefully it will be cool. I'm also today accompanied by 2 of our colleagues, so check us at the booth. Thanks so much for those that came and asked a lot of questions. We are here to show you what we do. And jokes aside, you know, and, everyone these days wants to get rich. Who wants to get rich? Who doesn't want to? Let's see. You want to be healthy? You need money for that. No, I'm just joking, but really, I think also with the pandemic times, we realized how important it is to have different type of streams of income and all that. It's not to talk about money on that side. But if you do search how to get rich while using websites, these are the search results that you do. Also, yes, sorry, I'm a bit old. I still search on Google. I'm not yet on Chat AI, you know. Soon I'll have that version too. I know you're fancy. But from the list of suggestions there, I think the most used is the ads one. And we literally are bombarded every day with ads. Funny enough, I was trying yesterday to upload my, update my talk with a Singaporean News Time magazine newspaper, but it seems that the most that I found in the first 3, they are not using ads. So I went back into my home country right now. I'm Romanian, but I live in Germany. And Spiegel, the biggest newspaper there, still uses ads. The green thing, which I love, is my favorite color. I'm not quite interested in it. So I would love to see the content just like that. And I understand that people have to make money. So I'm not dismissing, I'm not saying ads are bad. Some people choose to block them either way. But how about an alternative where you can support the platform creators? And how about a web natively solution, not even an extension? We are not quite there, but this is our promise for the future. Other payment issues that we see around the world while working on the internet is that not all the platforms are considered equal. And here, I mean, Google Ads will give you money, or they give you access to ads if your platform has a certain number of users. And if you're not an influencer, it's a bit harder to make some money. They will say, like, sorry, we are not interested in your website. How about me? I have 1 follower. What if they want to pay me $1 million? Like, I could not be paid through that ads? I could have been so much rich till now. But besides that, ooh, that was fast. Not all countries are equal. My colleague, Santosh from India, tried to monetize his content to Medium. Unfortunately, getting money through Medium, which is a platform of journalism and blogging, is not available in India, but he can pay. So it's funny how I can pay others around the world, but my content, just because I'm in a certain country, is not being able to be monetized. And the last mention here, but for sure not the least problem that we see around the world, is that not everyone is rich. I want to support maybe your blog site, but I only want to give each time I read, it's like 5 cents or 10 cents. That million people, 1 person, I'm still waiting for someone to donate that to me. So many of the platforms we have right now out, like Patreon and other stuff, I'm not bashing on them, but will not allow you to pay so small amounts of money often. So we are considering all these problems, and one of the solutions that we saw happening, what we are implementing right now, is the Web Monetization API. Imagine a world where you sit and do your work, read to do research, or anything that you have to build, and while doing this automatically, it's not quite flying money, but automatically you will be paid for the work that you put out in the world, and people are using it. As simple as that. And you are asking, okay, Ioana, what is this web monetization? As I mentioned, it's the API that allows websites to automatically and passively receive payments through other web monetized enabled visitors, meaning that if I decide to use web monetization and I'm on your website, which is web monetized, without me doing an action every time I join your website, I read your website. And by website, think of any platform that you create. It can be a game, it could be anything. Not right now, but that's our vision. You will get money. I love the passive world right now because I don't have to do something every time, and it's also showing you support for the creators that you want. Again, by creator, I mean developers that do websites, people that record any type of content out in the web, any pages in the web. Okay, how is this enabled? Well, as simple as adding a line of code, and I kid you not. I mean, 1 or 2 lines of code, but we are there. And I mentioned the open payment wallet. Here, if you wallet, your page would be monetized. Everything that you will receive by others will go into your wallet. And if on the page, for example, you're using someone else's work, you integrate that work, and can be a page with an image from some photographer, if I add her photography, like let's say it's Brooks, that it's by her done, not by me, I can even pay her while you're reading my page because it's her content at the end of the day. And I mentioned these open payments a lot. What is this open payments? For those that have been at the booth already know, but it's the standard for accounting services and titles that allows third parties to securely access digital wallets and view information accounts and initialize payments in your name. Meaning, this will be the protocol that will make the money fly from one account to another. And again, in the future, how we envision it is to use open payments even in sending money to friends in other terms, not only on the web by reading, but also paying at the shops. The protocol will be implemented, hopefully adopted by these kinds of things. So will be present everywhere. It's not something that we do for ourselves right now, but it is the technology that facilitates web monetization. In simple designs, we will have a wallet that will be connected, the subdomains wall, and will go on a page. We'll see that the page is monetized, like Brooks' wallet, and we'll send money through it. What is a web monetization agent? How we envision it right now, it's an extension or natively implemented. I mentioned at the beginning, the future will mean literally being natively implemented in the browser. We are working towards that. At the moment, the solution that we saw is to create an extension that does this for you. I know, 100 extensions, clean your profile. I used to also test websites, and it was always, have you tried with a clean profile? Nobody has a clean profile on the website faces. So I know people don't want an extension, but this is the current solution that we have, and we are working towards implementing it natively. It's not only depending on us, as you know, it depends on the browser vendors too there. We have it right now in Chromium, and we do talk with others to implement it. What you can configure in web monetization is your wallet that you will link externally from other platforms, and also how much money you want to spend, when, if you want to spend on some pages or not. You can choose to opt out in paying for some of the pages that you don't want to or don't support. And I put a screenshot with the extension, how it looks right now. If you want to play around with it, my colleagues at the booth have the demo installed there to do it in real time with you, to show you how you connect, how you disconnect, how your money flies to other accounts. And, and you are probably asking how the website will know. Being implemented in the code is literally while loading the page, it will be read, the tag will know that this page is monetized, and the pain pointer that you have will be triggered. At the same point, as the creator of the page, you don't have to do anything more at that point. If you want, okay, you get the money, it's good. But at the same point, you can explore being more creative to make a confetti pop-up to announce like, hey, Thanks for monetizing my page. Thanks so much. Adding, you're the user that supported me, a special thing that supported me this month. You can do private content. And I know there are platforms out there for it, but at this point in time, the platform that do this behind the wall get a pay cut and also ask you for a large amount of money. Remember the problems that we mentioned at the beginning? We are trying to fix those too. Or even you could remove the ads completely, the example that I showed at the beginning, not to convince people to just buy random stuff, and you make your content being sustainable through other conditions, other opportunities. Looking back of how open payments and web monetization work, you could see how through the web monetization agents, we do a request to Brooke's page to see if it's monetized. We identify the incoming payment and we create it for it. It will be confirmed and outgoing from my own wallet, and we are transferring it from one wallet to another to the platform. At this point, I think it's worth mentioning that we do not get any cuts. We are not involved to make a profit out of it. Interledger Foundation is a non-profit foundation. In the longer terms of scheme, you should not deal with us at all. Right now, we're creating different tools and we support different wallets to grants to make this happen faster and easier. But in a longer term of scheme, we are going to be not needed anymore. The payment is validated and Brooke gets the money. Okay, so how do we send this money? Is it literally flying around or? No, of course it's not. For this, we have a protocol implemented, and it's called Interledger. Yes, I know. We work with ledgers. It's not what you think. It's just a misfortunate use of name. It's not in our name, to be honest, because it's not our fault that people use ledgers for other stuff. We call it that because it is the technology that would connect different ledgers from different ecosystems. So it is a protocol to interwork with the ledgers. And as mentioned, it sends buckets of money across different payment networks and ledgers. The protocol was created by Stefan Thomas and Evan Schwartz. And if you remember, they used to also build Coil. It was similar to this a few years back, and we are now working to make it better and more available to everyone. And back then, they literally considered that this kind of payment can be made on the internet, on the web, by this small packet sent. Does it sound familiar with something that we use daily? Is it maybe as simple as sending an email or uploading something on the internet? Because if you think like that, the architecture behind it is literally built to be similar with the internet architecture. As you have for the internet, all the elements of Wi-Fi, Ethernet, Bluetooth, the network elements, on Interledger, on the payment side, we will have different type of money. It can be crypto, it can be mobile money, sending messages through company. It can be physical money. Those are the networks. We are trying to connect them through the protocol. In internet case is the IP, you know, and in our case will be the Interledger Protocol. Building on top of that comes the transport. Internet goes to TCP, you know that. In our case will be stream of monies. And we have the application that use those streams, in our terms, open payments, and in internet case, the HTTP or all the networks there. But, so yeah, it's all fun and everything. I think it's very familiar for a web developer. Should be easy to understand or to follow the implementation. And you might ask, okay, Ioana, you're talking about web monetization, but web monetization is not on that funnel, on that clepsydra, or how it's called. Well, we add a layer on top, because as we mentioned on the internet, we have the internet, the World Wide Web, on top of it. And that is where the role of web monetization is in our case. And for, as I mentioned, for web developers like you, this is very familiar. For the users that don't understand much of how the internet works, but they know, I have this, I can do a web something, and it works, they will understand that we have web monetization for them on top of everything that is behind. And as we are trying to be as safe and as credible and responsible as the internet based on the same procedures. I mentioned earlier that we look to implement this outside of the web extension, and we do have a proposal for the W3C consortium. We work closely to him to get it approved. A few of you might know that if you're working with, it takes, for standards like this, takes a long time, so a couple of years at least, or even more. So do check it. Everything we work on is open source. You can contribute to it. You even follow us with a star on GitHub. So go ahead, ask, implement, give feedback. I think we can improve it just by realizing or covering more problems that people have or better implementations there. If you want to get involved, you can join the community calls that we have, the community on Slack. We put outside at the booth a challenge with our QR code too. Scan it. There are a lot of things that you can follow. If you're not on Slack, you can subscribe to the newsletter where we share all the work we have. And on community.interledger.org, you will see different updates from our side, from the tech side, like what we implement and release notes, to ambassadors. There are a lot of opportunity at Interledger Foundation to get a grant to build or support with us better implementation of web monetization with different kind of things. I mentioned my colleague Santosh, he is an ambassador for Interledger Foundation. You can apply if they are open. There are other 2-3 ones. They are complicated. I want to mention complicated because it's for university or schools, a bit more tailored for different solutions. But the last one, it's our summit that we organize in South Africa, in Cape Town, in October. If you want to speak at it, the call for paper, call for speakers, it's open, and I would love to see you there. Thank you so much.